Steve Palumbo here with an RX Muscle news update. Day one at the IFBB. Tampa Pro is out now. Results are in. We have a new 212 champion in Keone Pearson. Here's a guy who was classic physique, went to 212, was going to go back to classic. I don't think he can make the classic cutoff anymore. He had too much muscle. He's back to 212. Good decision, Keone. This is your division for sure. And he brought a really good look in here. But it was a real battle between Kareth Baggio, who won last year, and Keone this year. And, you know, we could watch it pose for pose here, and you'll see that, you know, Keone wins some poses, Kareth wins some poses. I think Kareth was a little tighter last year, to be honest with you. I think had he come in a little drier, I think he could have possibly have won this show. Kareth has got some tremendous gifts in the sense that he's got a lot of mass. He's got more muscle in his legs than Keone does. His back is bigger and thicker than Keone's, but Keone has got one of the most blessed structures I've ever seen. His waist is tiny. His taper is good. His hands together, most muscular. He's got those big cap delts. He's just got all the bells and whistles of a physique that your eyes get drawn to. And his conditioning was good here. He could be a little tighter still. I think moving forward, you know, to the Olympia, he's going to have to come in a little harder if he's going to want to do some damage in this division. But this is a good look. You know, he's got glutes. He's got hamstrings. Like I said, him and Kareth's conditioning was pretty comparable. And I think Kareth has the ability to get a lot harder. So I think that was a mistake on Kareth's part. But you look at the back double. I mean, you could give it to Kareth. I mean, he's got even back lat spread. I mean, he's got a lot of mass on him. But once again, when you hit these showy shots, ab thigh, you know, hands together, most muscular, Keone just has a lot going on and a lot pops. You know, it's when the judges judge this thing, they got to judge what they feel is the best up there. And sometimes muscle and conditioning don't beat, you know, structure. And Keone brought it. You know, he brought good conditioning. He has a lot more muscle than he's had in the past. He presents it really well on stage. He did have I noticed he had a little bump on his shoulders, which was a little distracting. And I don't know what that was, a little knot. He's going to have to work that out, obviously. But obviously the judges didn't feel it was distracting enough to hold it against him. So Keone goes home as the champ, and Kareth has to settle for basically runner-up position. I was very impressed with Nate Epler, though, who was in the third position. This guy has made so many improvements over the last couple of years. He is, you know, you could make a case for him winning the show. I mean, really, if you wanted to. I just don't think that he's there yet. But his conditioning was probably the best up there. He's got a tremendous structure. He flows well. He poses really well. He knows how to display his physique. He's got good body awareness. This is a huge victory for him to place third behind these two guys. He is really the real deal. I'd like to see him do a couple more shows and win one and automatically qualify for the Olympia, because he absolutely deserves to be there. He is a definite future star in this division, and he looks really good. And he did his homework here. Cody Drobet looked amazing. You know, I don't think anyone expected to see him in this fourth position here. Tremendous, tremendous job. Put on a lot of mass over the last year. Brought really good conditioning. He's got to be thrilled with fourth place. This is a tough lineup. This is an Olympia lineup, really. I mean, when you think about it, all those three guys in the top three will be probably top five at the Olympia. So, or at least top seven. So this is not just your run-of-the-mill regional show. This is top quality 212 competition at its best. And so Cody has got to be super happy with placing in the fourth position. Congratulations. And congratulations to the whole lineup. I love to see a great show. It was very entertaining to watch. I felt like the competition was close. I love to see that when they call two guys out together and pose them down against each other. And you know what? You could have flipped a coin. Kareth versus, you know, Keone. I think, like I said, Keone just had, you know, more bells and whistles. He's got a better structure, and he did enough conditioning-wise and muscle improvement-wise to win this show. Now, moving over to the classic physique, we saw Courage Opara. He's probably one of the most underappreciated, you know, guys in the classic division, because he's not the biggest guy. He's not the hardest guy, but he's got really good flow to his body, really nice structure. Every year I see him, I'd like to see him put a little more muscle on, and I think he does put a little bit more muscle on, but he's not, so he doesn't overwhelm anyone on that stage. But in this lineup, which wasn't that strong in Classic, he was really good, and he did enough to win this show. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You got to do enough to win. It doesn't matter if you blow the lineup out. It doesn't matter if you win by 100 points or by 1 point. At the end of the day, it's who wins. I was very impressed with second place, Adeli Anarat, who I didn't really know much about, but I guess he just turned pro this past year at the Team Universe. He won the overall. This guy's got future star written all over him. I actually didn't have a problem with him if he would have won this show, to be honest with you. He had better conditioning. He's got a team. I thought Courage had a small waist. This guy's got a really small waist as well. He's got good body parts. He needs to put a little bit more muscle on, I think. And once he does that, he's going to be dangerous in this division. He's really good. He's the real deal. These two guys both, were top-notch in this lineup, and I want to congratulate both of them. In men's physique, we saw somewhat of an upset because my good friend Andre Ferguson had to settle for second place, which I know he probably was not happy with. Although Andre never complains about anything. He's always like, that's the way it is, and it is what it is, But Andre looked good, but Danny Amons came in and brought it. Man, this guy's got what abs? I thought Andre Ferguson had great abs. This guy has got like the best. If I had to pick someone's abs that I wanted to have for my whole life, that's the abdominal region I'd like to have. What a crazy small waist, but with great insertions. He's got obliques, he's got rectus, abdominis, he's got it all, really. And he beat, Andre's an Arnold Classic winner multiple times. He's a second place Olympia finisher. I mean, he knocked off a really good guy here. He's got to be considered one of the favorites, I would think, going into the Olympia at the end of the year. This guy is going to be a guy you better watch out for. Danny Amons, you heard it here. I mean, he's the real deal. So great action on day one here at Tampa. Tomorrow will be the men's open. So we'll get to, talk about that as well. That's going to be super exciting. For now, though, I am Dave Palumbo with an RX Muscle News Update.